The Winchester House. Ever been to a house that seems like it was built by someone playing a chaotic game of The Sims? Enter the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California. Built by Sarah Winchester, widow of the dude who invented the Winchester rifle, this mansion is a literal maze. Doors open to brick walls, staircases lead to nowhere, and there are more hallways than a fever dream. Sarah, in her belief that angry spirits of people killed by Winchester rifles were after her, thought this chaotic house would confuse them. Talk about next-level ghost-proofing. This house isn't just a case of poor interior design decisions gone wild, it's a testament to relentless paranoia and endless cash. Construction continued non-stop 24/7 for 38 years until her death in 1922. There are 160 rooms, 2,000 doors, and, wait for it, 13 bathrooms. Spooky number 13 pops up a lot, from the 13-step staircase to windows divided into 13 panes. Either Sarah was superstitious or really committed to making an oddly specific point. Now here's a twist that might rattle your bones. Legends say Sarah Winchester held nightly seances to get construction guidance from the spirits themselves. Imagine asking for ghostly feedback. More secret passageways? No problem. Demonic approval is important. Paranormal enthusiasts swear by ghostly activity from cold spots to whispers in the dead of night. Even the bravest visitors admit there's a heavy presence, as if a bunch of disgruntled spirits are still rolling their eyes over their trap house prison. If you think it's all a hoax, well, the place remains a certified tourist spot for ghost hunters and curious humans. It stands as a creepy but hilarious reminder that whether it's ghosts or mental health, paranoia can lead to some truly mind-boggling architectural designs. Next time you feel uneasy, just be thankful you're not turning your house into a labyrinth to confuse poltergeists. The Mothman. Meet the Mothman, a 7-foot-tall red-eyed winged creature that haunts Point Pleasant, West Virginia. First spotted in 1966 by two couples, it allegedly chased their car at over 100 miles per hour, then disappeared like a Batman villain who's had enough drama for the night. Ever since, the Mothman has been seen before tragedies, including the collapse of the Silver Bridge in 1967, which killed 46 people. Coincidence? Harbinger of doom? Or just a weirdo in a very dedicated cosplay routine? The Mothman is equal part terrifying and, let's be honest, kind of funny. There are reports of people seeing him perched on their roofs, silently staring at them. Can you imagine peeking out of the window thinking it's a bird, but nope, giant bug dude. Some say he emits a screech like metal scraping against metal, while others insist he flies silently. Either way, it's nightmare fuel. But hey, at least he's consistent. Here's the kicker that's been driving theories. Some people believe the Mothman isn't a monster at all, but an alien, a government experiment gone rogue, or even a mutant bird. The theories keep getting wilder, yet the Mothman has become a local hero with his own museum and annual festival. Imagine partying in honor of a creature that, by legend, shows up when bad things happen. Humans are a wonderfully weird species. Whether you think he's a misunderstood mutant or just a cryptid who enjoys the limelight, the Mothman remains one of America's most endearing mysteries. And if you're ever in Point Pleasant, keep an eye on the skies. You might just spot a pair of red eyes glaring at you. Just hope he's not there to predict your car's going to break down or something equally dramatic. The Bermuda Triangle. Let's kick things off with the Bermuda Triangle. That freaky patch of ocean between Bermuda, Miami, and Puerto Rico. Ships vanish. Planes? Poof. Locals have plenty of theories, from aliens enjoying human kidnapping to underwater pyramids with magnetic powers. Basically Atlantis' magnetic sibling having a bad day. While science keeps dropping logical explanations like rogue waves or compass malfunctions, what's life without a little imagination, right? Maybe there's a party down there where Amelia Earhart is the DJ and they just really don't want to leave. A real eyebrow raiser? In 1945, 5 U.S. Navy bombers known as Flight 19 vanished on a routine training mission. All 14 men aboard, gone. When a rescue plane with 13 crew members went looking for them, you guessed it, that one disappeared too. Some blame wormholes or underwater methane explosions, while skeptics just call it bad luck. But even skeptics have to admit, disappearing that spectacularly feels like something right out of an X-Files episode, not a dull accident report. Let's get real. Some pilots have flown through this so-called Triangle of Doom without a scratch. They've lived to roll their eyes at the legend while others tell stories of electronic instruments going haywire or time slips where minutes seem to stretch like a bad jazz improv. Maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe it's a glitch in the Matrix. All we know is it gives your GPS a run for its money. Sure, The Bermuda Triangle is likely just a victim of hype, but it's earned its spot in paranormal folklore. The next time you're sipping a cocktail on a cruise to Bermuda, just remember, if your compass starts spinning and you see a glow in the sky, it's either the world's worst weather or your ticket to becoming someone else's campfire story. The Loch Ness Monster. Nessie. Who knew one blurry photo in 1934 would kick off a legend that has Scotland's Loch Ness swamped with tourists waving binoculars? Nessie is the OG cryptid, supposedly a giant dinosaur-like creature chilling in Loch Ness's murky waters. People swear they've seen a long neck or hump moving in the water, while skeptics whisper it's probably an escaped elephant from a traveling circus. Yes, that's a theory. For decades, locals and tourists alike have camped out, scanning the loch with everything from homemade periscopes to full-blown sonar. Occasionally, someone will post a grainy image that either looks like Nessie or a sad floating log. Take your pick. But surprise! In 2019, a group of researchers said Nessie sightings might actually be attributed to giant eels. Less of a prehistoric diva, more like snakes on a lake. How anticlimactic is that? Nessie's antics have been surprisingly good for business, though. She's boosted tourism, created whole museums, and turned random splashes into sensational headlines. But wait, here's the kicker. Locals still maintain it's not about proof, it's about hope. A little mystique goes a long way. Whether you believe Nessie's a plesiosaurus, a myth, or just a massive prank, you have to admire a monster that's kept a poker face through centuries of debates. In a world obsessed with over-explaining everything, Nessie's elusive nature is a refreshing mystery. It's fun to imagine she's down there somewhere, flipping off sonar cameras, laughing at our determination, and maybe sipping Loch Ness martinis. So next time you spot a ripple on a lake, take a picture. Who knows? You might accidentally fuel the next chapter in the legend of the world's most camera-shy monster. The Lost City of Atlantis. Atlantis. Even the name sounds like it belongs on a fancy map with a big X. Plato first mentioned this legendary city in 360 BCE, describing it as an advanced civilization that sank into the sea in a single day and night of misfortune. So, what did they do? Cross Poseidon on a bad hair day? Atlantis has become the poster child for mythical lost civilizations, inspiring books, movies, and some very wild theories. Oh, and it's the perfect go-to for anyone claiming they found underwater ruins after a couple of blurry sonar readings. One of the most popular theories is that Atlantis was a real city located near the Mediterranean, and it fell victim to a massive earthquake or tsunami. Archaeologists, geologists, and conspiracy theorists have all taken a swing at this one, digging up bits of history and declaring, "This must be it!" only for someone else to pop up and say, "Actually, it's just rocks." Or, in modern terms, they got rickrolled by nature. Here's a jaw-dropper. Some believe Atlantis had technology more advanced than our own, complete with flying machines, energy crystals, and who knows what else. It's like if Silicon Valley decided to make a city, then sank it. UFO enthusiasts think aliens gave them all this tech, only for things to go disastrously wrong. Others claim Atlanteans escaped to space or live among us in secret. Imagine bumping into someone at Starbucks and realizing they're a 10,000-year-old underwater exile ordering a pumpkin spice latte. But here's a reality check. Historians mostly agree that Plato probably made it all up as a cautionary tale about human hubris. Still, there's a reason we're so fascinated. The idea that an entire society could just vanish and take its secrets with it is equal parts terrifying and enticing. Maybe Atlantis is a metaphor, or maybe it's chilling somewhere beneath the waves, silently laughing at how we've turned it into a meme for centuries. The Salem Witch Trials. Salem in 1692, a town where paranoia was the morning coffee. This dark chapter in history saw more than 200 people accused of witchcraft, with 20 executed. The evidence? Particular behavior, dreams, and, brace yourself, pointing fingers. Someone had a seizure? Witchcraft. A cow stopped producing milk? Witchcraft. Your bread didn't rise? Witch! The frenzy turned neighbor against neighbor, and before you knew it, the town was one big burn book, but with literal fires. Let's talk about the afflicted girls who started this hysteria. They exhibited violent fits, screams, and hallucinations, leading some modern researchers to suspect ergot poisoning, a mold that grows on rye and produces hallucinogenic compounds. Think LSD, but with more screaming accusations. Imagine being high out of your mind and think your Aunt Betsy can hex you with a glance. Yup, things spiraled fast. One of the creepiest parts? Trials often included spectral evidence, visions of ghosts or spirits supposedly sent by the accused. You didn't even need actual evidence, just someone claiming they had a feeling you sent a ghost to give them a migraine. Good luck arguing with that in court. Even Judge Judy would walk away, hands up, exasperated. The witch trials stand as a chilling reminder of what happens when fear and paranoia override reason. Fast forward to today, and Salem has embraced its dark past. The town is a Halloween mecca, with tourist shops, ghost tours, and witch-themed everything. Ironically, witches, who were feared and executed back then, are now celebrated and even make decent career options if you're into the spell-casting business. It's history's way of serving poetic justice. Just be careful which kind of justice you dabble in, or you might find yourself on a broomstick flight of terror through our darkest instincts. The crop circles. If you ever looked at a field and thought, wow, what this place needs is some geometrical art that'll boggle conspiracy theorists, you might have a career in crop circles. These designs have popped up in fields overnight since the 1970s, often looking like alien doodles. Perfect circles, intricate patterns, and even complex mathematical sequences, just what aliens would totally use for small talk, right? Skeptics say it's the work of hoaxers with boards and ropes. But here's where things get extra weird. Some formations have complex electromagnetic changes, bent stalks, not broken, and designs so intricate that skeptics have to ask if these nighttime pranksters are superhuman. Maybe they are, or maybe they're just really bored and committed to their craft. Either way, it's impressive. But don't dismiss the UFO connection too fast. Eyewitnesses claim they've seen glowing lights above the fields right before crop circles appear. A few swear they've encountered buzzing noises and sensations like electricity in the air. Are aliens trying to send us a message we just don't get? Sorry, extraterrestrials, Earth's reception is really spotty and we don't speak crop art Morse code. Shockingly, some crop circle researchers, yes, that's a job, believe these designs hold clues to future events or interdimensional contact. While we may never know the truth, there's a fun paradox here. If these circles are meant to communicate, they're either messages from an alien race with a deep fondness for agriculture or humanity's weirdest prank-off challenge. Either way, the crop circle mystery keeps us guessing and keeps the farmers scratching their heads. Just another day on Earth, really. The Mary Celeste. The Mary Celeste is a ship that just up and ghosted on December 5, 1872. Found adrift and abandoned in the Atlantic Ocean, it was in good shape, with all its cargo and personal belongings intact. No signs of struggle, no clues as to where the crew had gone. It's like they decided, let's go get some milk, and never came back. The ship's logbook had entries up until 10 days before its discovery, but the mystery remains unsolved. Did they get abducted by aliens? Mutiny? Sea monsters? Pirates who were usually polite thieves? One wild theory involves alcohol fumes from the cargo. With 9 barrels found empty, some think an explosion was imminent, causing the crew to abandon ship in a hurry, only for their lifeboat to vanish. Others argue it was an insurance scam gone wrong, because nothing says cunning plan like vanishing into the blue without a trace. Here's a creepy twist. Sailors reportedly found meals half-eaten and personal effects untouched. No signs of violence or struggle, just eerie silence. Imagine boarding a perfectly functional ghost ship. It'd be like finding someone's house empty with the kettle still boiling. It'd make the bravest pirate say, nope, not today. The Mary Celeste remains one of the ocean's weirdest tales, a sobering reminder that even today, the sea holds secrets we may never solve. Theories will keep coming, from plausible to downright bananas. But next time you're on a cruise, just hope your captain doesn't go, you know, speaking of mysterious vanishings. The Dyatlov Pass. In 1959, 9 Russian hikers ventured into the snowy Ural Mountains and never returned. Search teams later discovered their tent, slashed open from the inside, along with frozen bodies scattered across the pass. The conditions were nothing short of bizarre. Some were half-dressed despite temperatures plunging to negative 30 degrees Celsius. Others showed unexplained injuries like cracked skulls and broken ribs. Naturally, it wasn't long before this case became paranormal folklore, and it's known today as the Dyatlov Pass incident. One of the weirdest facts, radioactivity was detected on some of the hikers' clothing. Cue the conspiracy theories. Aliens? Secret Soviet weapon tests? A Yeti? The Yeti theory even got an unofficial nod when one of the hikers allegedly wrote in his diary, "From now on, we know they exist." Either a monster found their snacks, or it's the creepiest joke note ever left. Hypothermia could explain the half-dressed state, the so-called paradoxical undressing phenomenon. But what about the internal injuries with no external trauma? Some researchers suggest an infrasound-related panic, where intense vibrations from wind might have caused psychological distress, but try putting that on a missing persons report. The lack of solid evidence leaves plenty of room for speculation, and every new explanation seems to deepen the enigma rather than solve it. In 2020, Russian officials revisited the case and attributed the deaths to an avalanche, but skeptics remain unconvinced. After all, the story sounds tailor-made for horror movies and midnight campfire tales. Whatever happened, the pass was renamed Dyatlov Pass after the expedition's leader. If nothing else, it serves as a chilling reminder that some mysteries are better left unsolved, or at least given a wide berth on your next winter trek.